Good morning, everyone. It's nice to be here. And I hope you're having a wonderful time. And I hope all of us are learning different things that can help us grow to become better people, better stewards in our own careers. But I hate to break it to you if I have to start off possibly with a very, very strong note that maybe some of us here may not be willing to welcome. I'm here to tell you that excellence is a myth. Now, the reason for that is because all our life, we've always been told to work for it, to strive for it, to try our best to attain it, to even embody it. And throughout our journeys, we sometimes do well and we succeed, but there are also times wherein we fail. And in those moments of failures, what do? We just get back up, work again, and hopefully things do get better. But what about on the days that we attain those successes? What happens is when we reach the top, we realize one thing, that it's not over. The game isn't ending. You have to work again and again, and you realize that it seems like there really isn't just one single summit. It seems like there's more. And you work your way through those, and when you reach those, you realize that it seems like a game that never truly ends. I want to ask the audience today. Many of us here have goals. We have a lot of young people here. Of course, we have dreams. Some of us here probably are already of my age, possibly older, and we did attain what we wanted. I just want to ask the audience whether it be something that you are right now or possibly something that you wanted to be. Who among us here wanted or dreamed of becoming doctors? You could just raise your hand. Thank you. What about engineers? Come over there. Scientists? Some here. Athletes? There. Musicians? Over there. Teachers? Yes, of course. We all know that all of these professions require one thing. Before you even become one, well, there's a journey to go through. And the journey to get there is actually the hardest part of all of it. What do we dedicate? Blood, sweat, tears. We know those three. But there are more. Resources, there's time. And at the end of it, you're not even excellent at it yet. Because the truth is, you work your way through all of these, but then there's no real guarantee that you are the best at it. Truth be told, the pursuit of excellence is really exhausting. I take pride in my journey here. I started off as a science teacher, and many people think that the work of a teacher is rather easy. Then maybe you've never really experienced it. Some people think like this, just a calm, quiet, peaceful river flowing. They say that the players change, but the game is always the same. But teachers know that's not always the case. In reality, it's this. It's like a river with a strong and powerful current, always changing, always adapting. And even then, after all of these challenges that we faced, there's still no guarantee that we can become the best. Because what really is the best? Is it being at the top of your field? Is it always thinking that one day I will reach the top and live for that final moment? Is that the moment that truly defines our lives today? The sad truth is, there really isn't a single moment. We try to chase something that never truly exists, simply because the reality of excellence is founded on two myths that evades us eventually. The first being that excellence is a fixed point. To many of us, what is that? To the young generation, that's possibly the overall award. Possibly to others, it's the degree you've always sought for. People beyond that, what is it? It's that best employee award, the most hardworking person, CEO of a Fortune 500 company, or possibly even more. We all try our best to attain those experiences and moments in our life. But of course, that's not always the case. We may have seniors, juniors, sophomores here. What is their goal? Possibly to belong in one of these universities. To many of us, we know that these are the top universities in the world if you're looking at global rankings. Did I have the privilege to end up here? No, I didn't. But that's okay. I dreamed of joining here. I worked through it, but I never really had the privilege. But that's fine. But all of us here, we can all dream big, and we want to meet those goals. And throughout our journey, it changes our mindset. It makes us goal-oriented because we always want to attain that top prize. How many of us can say that we really did hit our marks? To many of us, congratulations. To some who didn't, what happens after that? Many of those will realize that after one success, there's still another, simply because excellence is never really one fixed point. When we get up there, what happens? There's another, and another, and another. The truth is, there is no single summit. It's just natural for all of us to always work for more. And that is the truth. When we realize that there's really no single summit, what do we feel? Exhausted, frustrated. The truth is, ladies and gentlemen, it shouldn't always be when we attain what we've always wanted. The pursuit of it should be the reward we are looking for. It's not about the destination, as they say, but the journey we all undertake. Next. Many of my generation would know who she is. Possibly older, they would know. The younger generation, I assume they would too. But who is she? Can I get an answer from the audience? Who is she? She's the queen. But there's something specific that she's just not an ordinary queen. She is the evil queen. Because the evil queen sought for something. And it is where her whole life revolved around. That was the purpose of the mirror. The mirror served as a reminder of what she believed she was and what she always stood for. The queen stood for one word, and it started with the letter P. And that word is? Thank you. It is perfection. This myth is crippling to many. Why? Because we become so afraid. We become so afraid that if we do something and we don't do well, I'll get criticized. My parents may possibly think of me as someone who is incapable. So we make the decision to, okay, I'll just not do it then. And when we don't start anything, we cannot achieve anything at all. And we think that when we fail, oh, well, everyone does. That is the opposite of my goal. We think that failure is the opposite of excellence. In reality, failure is not the opposite of excellence. It is part of it. It is a fundamental building block to becoming something. And you have to become something before you can even dream of becoming excellent at it. Speaking of excellence and the road to it, here's a perfect example. Many of us here know who she is. To those who do not, she is J.K. Rowling, the author of the famous Harry Potter series. Now, many of us know as someone who is, well, life's literary success. And yes, not only that, she's regarded as the wealthiest author today. And that's a lot of money. Some of us here, I know I, would dream of having even half. Okay, fine, 1/10 is okay. I'd be happy with that. But was her story really about success? Was her life that easy that it would be easy enough for me to be comfortable, lift that pen, and start writing my stories? No. To those of you who do not know, her life wasn't as great. What? She came from an abusive marriage. She was a single mother with a very young child. And this image is where she would write her stories. Not because she wanted the feeling of writing in cafes, but this was the warmest place she could find. But that didn't stop her from writing. That didn't stop her from pursuing her passion. And then what? Imagine pouring all your life's work into one, and then you would find publishers hoping that they could continue on with your dream. But then, what do you face? Rejection. Many of us has faced that, and she has. Not just once, twice, thrice. Imagine, what is our threshold? 6 times? 7 times? For us to feel that this is not our path? She was rejected for more than 10 times. How many of us here can say that when we think of things that we want to do and we work for it, but we get rejected that many times, how many of us here can say that I won't quit, I believe in myself, and I'll work through it? Of course, we know how her story ended, and it's great. But her story is a story of persistence. Because in life, we face this reality. We face failure. And when we think of failure, we just think of expectations that are, well, not being met. Were her expectations met? Possibly. When failure struck, did she feel disappointed? I assume she was. But she took mistakes not as plain failures, but she took mistakes as learning experiences and received feedback. And she grew from that experience. And then, of course, we know her story today. So what really is excellence? Is excellence just that one moment wherein we try to reach and we have to pave a perfect road just to get there? No, ladies and gentlemen. Excellence is, rather, it is a consistent and courageous commitment to the process of becoming. It is not that one fixed point, but rather, it is the journey that I live. It is the journey that you are living. You are the authors of your own story. Please remember that it's not just that moment where we work through it, but rather we have to do something, and we change the way we work. We change the way we think. And when we do, we will realize that it's not just for that one single moment. We change our mindset from the process of being to the process of becoming. So I leave you all with 3 things, something all of us can take home today besides the great wisdom that you've already gathered from all our wonderful speakers. The first is, all of us, we all have our journeys. Each of us is different. We're all destined to be great in our own perfect way. And throughout all of that, remember to embrace the learning curve. Some curves are steeper, some curves are sharper. Mine has been really sharp, and that's okay. That's part of my journey, and you have yours. Do not be afraid. Remember, it's always about being a student for life. All of us here are, regardless of the age, we're all here to learn something. So don't be afraid to ask how. Don't be afraid to ask why. It's okay to admit that I don't know, because these serve as learning opportunities for us to grow and become better. And of course, this man also encountered the same. Possibly many of us here do not know who he is. But this man, and his story goes, he was a man blessed with natural talent. But if that talent is not put into work, it means absolutely nothing. There are stories of him practicing 10, 12, 14 hours a day just because he was so passionate with playing the guitar. Yes, not every day will be a great day for you. There will be days wherein you do not want to wake up simply because you know you have to work. There are days wherein you do not want to go to school because you know you have a test. But it's the work that we put in and day out that refines us for who we are today. It's not that one moment that we are living for, but the journey each and every day that we are striving to attain. Of course, how did his story go? He is regarded as, arguably, the greatest guitar player of all time, Jimi Hendrix. Yes, again, blessed with natural talent. But of course, he also put in the work, even when days were not of his best. And finally, this is something that many of us possibly allude to. Not every day will be perfect. Not every day will be great. And during those days, don't be too hard on yourself. Please, make sure to be kind to yourself. Be compassionate. Be understanding. Share that same understanding that you would to your best friend who needs it. Because in life, the reality is, the harshest critics that we have is not others around us, but in reality, it is ourselves. And yes, we all make mistakes, and that's normal. That's a part of life. But the difference in learning from the mistakes is that when we do make them, we become better. If we just take mistakes as mistakes and ignore what all of these mean to us, it's never going to work for all of us and for all our benefit. But when we do, we become stronger, more refined, and even better than we could have ever imagined. So, ladies and gentlemen, stop living for that final moment. Don't wait for that moment wherein you feel this is what defines my life. This is what defines who I am and possibly who I will be. Sometimes these moments never happen. Stop living for that final snapshot that can define who you are. Don't. The life you are living right now is being defined already. And enjoy it. It's part of it. Mistakes, all the good and bad, that's always part of the journey. But remember, peaceful rivers, they don't really mean much. Lakes, there's not a lot of change. The life that all of us are living is not like this. The life that we are living is always flowing, always moving, always changing. And it is that same life that influences the people around us. Yes, nothing in life is perfect. Mistakes are always a part of it, which is why I would like to remind all of you today, please, whatever it is you're going through, embrace it. Life's imperfections, all the mistakes you're going through, that's part of the journey that you are a part of. And remind yourself that this is where you should be. This is where you want to be, and you're working through it. Embrace the courage that all of you have to go through your journey. And if you do, you will realize a unique form of excellence that is passionate, that is resilient, profound, and more truly yours beyond what you could have ever imagined. Thank you.